What's up YouTube, it's your girl Kay, and we are back with a market analysis. So for starters, I really want to say I'm not feeling the best right now. My allergies are basically been kicking my butt all week, so I sound a little nasally. I apologize in advance, but yeah, I'm still gonna try to push through and make this market analysis. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first and foremost, we're looking at gold, and yeah, I'm just gonna look at gold just from structure, from a high time frame, just to see what we're dealing with. So again, weekly hasn't really changed much. We're still, bullish on the weekly. Last week we actually came down for a bigger tracement, retesting this previous, broken structure on weekly. It looks like we're starting to push back up, which is pretty nice to see. On the daily, same thing. So it might be hard for you to see, but basically, price is our last swing low, is our last swing high, right? Daily we retraced back. We wicked below this low, but this candle body never closed below this candle body, so I still consider the daily bullish. I still consider the daily time frame bullish, right? And we kind of just been, within this range. Price has slowly been building back up to take out liquidity on the daily, so I'm just waiting for that initial, push to finally take out daily liquidity. So those are my big targets. 4 hour currently, I'm gonna actually put my drawings back on, but we are currently bearish on the 4 hour. So as you can see right here, 4 hour, we eventually broke structure, making this 4 hour bullish. We came back to retest, right, and then we broke structure again. But notice when the price came back down, we actually ended up breaking this low on the 4 hour, making our 4 hour bearish. So as you can see, we just created a lower high on the 4 hour. So right here, we have this lower high because we closed below, right? But it looks like the 4 hour is actually shifting back into a bullish motion. So as you can see, price we came up, we came down, and we failed to break this previous low, and we're pushing up. So technically this isn't like a breaker structure yet. We have to actually break above this 4 hour resistance first. I will say when we break high time frame resistance levels like the 4 hour daily, right, you see a lot of momentum, right? So when price comes to break this level, you're gonna see a big push. I really think you're gonna see a big push to the upside, because when we have when you break a high time frame level, there's just a lot of momentum that kicks in. So kind of what I'm looking for, I'm kind of looking to see on maybe the 1 hour, 2 hour, can we get a break above and a slight pullback, right? And then when we get that pullback, I'm looking to see it come back above, somewhere this level, or trying to come back above this level, and that's where I'm looking to get in. So basically I'm looking for price to, sorry y'all, basically I'm looking for price to basically come above, close above these highs, because that's important, right? The candle bodies matter, right? I want my candle body to close above these highs, give me some kind of retracement pullback, and then once it's heading back to the upside, that's where I'm looking to basically enter, somewhere around here. So, and of course, targets is going to be daily liquidity, right, as well as, sorry, that wasn't liquidity. That was 4 hour liquidity. So we have 4 hour liquidity right here, and then the daily liquidity is going to be sitting up here, so all-time highs. And then if I look to hold any further than all-time highs, I have my 27 extension for the daily, as well as my level 6,000. So I have an alert set at the 4 hour. I'm looking to see if we do basically break above these highs, these candle bodies, and that's where I'm going to look for my particular entry on gold. So that's my bias on gold. Okay, so this is EURJPY. I was actually in sales for EURJPY, but let me just give y'all the rundown real quick. So on the weekly, as you can see, we are bearish because it's our swing low, and we broke below that low, right? So my weekly is bearish. Daily, also bearish, right? We had shift the structure to the downside. We closed below here, and this is basically our range, right? So we had a pullback, and I actually took sales from this level last week, from this pullback, but it looks like we actually failed to take out this low right here. So it looks like we might be shifting back into a bullish momentum on EURJPY. So it's something we're looking for next week. In fact, on the 4 hour, as you can see, this was our last 4 hour resistance level, right? So previously this was acting as resistance, right? This was a 4 hour high, we made a low, right? And then we made an equal high. We failed to take out this low, and then we broke above. So this is a 4 hour shift of structure, right? We had a pullback, and then this is the continuation to go up. So This is actually a valid move you could have entered like last week to get into buys for EURJPY. If you trade like the 4 hour, right? Just keep in mind that like this area, there are a bunch of sellers sitting right here. So when you get to this area, like, you know, just be mindful of that. Like, because we previously sold like right here, 4 hour broke structure, we sold from this level. We came back, right? We took sales from this level. So just be mindful when you are buying it up that there are sellers here. Not saying you have to get out right here. I'm just saying be like, pay attention to the structure. Like if you get to this level and you see like, oh, we're starting to like shift, like make tiny shifts to the downside and making lower highs, I would probably, you know, get out of that. But if you come to this level and you see price kind of gets here strong, like you might see like a slight reaction and then like a big push, you know, you're good to keep holding to these daily highs. So just something to watch out for when you do get around to this level. This is also a psychological level, 185. Price loves to reverse around psychological levels. In fact, that is why I got out this trade, because I was actually holding sales to the downside. I was targeting liquidity right here, right? I saw a 2 hour shift of structure, right? Basically the 2 hour was here, so we had a high, so we had a low, had high, came down, made a new high, right? And then price came and broke that structure, right? And we started making low lows. And then I noticed at one point price returned to this level, right? So you can see it clear on the 4 hour price. We came back and we returned to this level, but we failed to break this high, and we started again shifting, you know, making lower lows, lower highs. So once I saw this, that's where I entered sales, and I actually held it to this level down here, and I got out because I noticed price was just kind of sitting here. It was taking a long time to break this level, and eventually we did end up breaking like this 4 hour resistance. So like at that point, it's definitely time to get out, right? But I noticed like before then, like price was just kind of like consolidating a lot in this area, and I didn't really like that, so I chose to get out around this level. Again, another psychological level where price likes to reverse. So but yeah, looking to see if we can potentially get buys, not necessarily on EJ. The reason why is because technically my daily is still considered bearish. I like to take trades personally with 2 consecutive time frames. It's a little risky to me when I take a trade that has just 1 time frame in my direction. I do take those sometimes, but I would prefer to find something better, which is why I'm actually looking more at GJ, right? Why is that? Because my daily here is actually bullish, and I can show you. So if you look here on the daily, my weekly is bearish, right? Obviously, right? We broke structure, we're here, we're pushing up. But my daily, if you pay attention to the body candles, right? The candle bodies, because some people might think that this is still bearish. If you pay attention, right? We broke structure. Okay, so we're down here, right? Price, we came up, made a high, and then it's very slight, but this candle body actually closed lower than this previous candle body, right? Making it bearish. If you want to see it clearer, you can actually jump to a line chart, right? So if you jump to a line chart, you can see that right here we had this big drop, right? And then price came up, and then we slightly closed lower than this level, and then we started what? We started shifting and then breaking resistance. So once we broke this level of resistance, that's where my daily shifts to bullish. So right here we shifted to bullish, right? And now we're like in this range of like waiting to, you know, see what the daily wants to do. So my daily is actually bullish right now, and my 4 hour basically the same thing as my 4 hour on EJ. So EJ, GJ, we were bearish, right? We came down, broke structure, right? Retested, broke structure again, and then price, we started slowly building our way back up until we eventually broke this high. So we were actually bullish on the 4 hour as of right now. So I was actually trying to, like last week, I was actually trying to get into buys on GJ, specifically like right here. And the reason I was trying to get in right here was because by this point, as you can see, price, we did what? We closed this candle body right here, closed above this previous candle body, and that's what made it bullish. So I saw this particular pullback right here, right? And at some point, like I was like, okay, at some point, this is a good point to, you know, get back in when we start pushing back up. But unfortunately, I was not at my charts around this time. I forgot to set an alert to let me know it was breaking back above, and I was actually working, and I was in like a bunch of meetings. Like it was like Friday I had like the most meetings, so I ended up missing this move to the upside. I really wanted this move, not gonna lie, but that's okay. And the reason that's okay is because this price it can't shoot up forever. At some point, it has to come back down, right? So there is actually a sorry. So there's actually a level right here on the 4 hour. This is the last place we broke structure on the 4. I'm sorry, y'all. It's really hard to talk right now. This was the last place we broke structure on the 4 hour. So this is basically where I'm looking to see price return to on the pullback. So if I want to draw a fib, this is my swing low. Oh, the market is open. That's crazy. It's already here. That's crazy. Okay, well, this is the swing low. This is the swing high. And I was waiting on price to basically come back to this area, which is crazy. This market just opened right where I needed it to be. But basically, I'm waiting for price to kind of come back, retest, and then continue on the upside, which it looks like it might be doing right now. This is really weird, not gonna lie. But this was the setup I was gonna look for this week. So I'm gonna try to post this really soon so y'all can see it. But yeah, basically, price come down, give us the retest. Basically at this point, I'm looking for price to give me signs that it wants to go back up. And then at this point, you know, once I scale it on a lower time frame and see that shift, I'm gonna look to basically carry this to the upside. First target, of course, will be these highs, but there are gonna be daily highs as well that we could target. So we got this high on the daily as well as this high on the daily that we could potentially hold to. So just a lot of high time frame targets that I could potentially hold for GJ. So I'm gonna wrap this up so I can analyze this trade. But really, that's all I'm really looking at. UJ is actually currently breaking a daily swing high. So if you look at UJ, currently on the weekly, we are actually shifting like bullish. So this was a swing low, this was swing high, swing low, and we just basically broke that on the weekly, right? On the daily, as you can see, this wasn't considered a swing low technically because we never broke structure, but we are breaking this daily swing low. I'm sorry, this wasn't considered a swing low on the daily because we did not break this previous low. However, this was the range on the daily, and we are currently looking to break this daily high. So the daily is shifting bullish on UJ as well, and 4 hour. Well, I'm sorry, when this price point eventually breaks above this level, we would consider the daily bullish, right? And then on the 4 hour, we are definitely bullish on the 4 hours. So as you can see, we are making higher highs, higher lows, and breaking structure. So bullish on UJ. So eventually gonna be looking for some potential 4 hour buy setups, right? Some potential Fibonacci entries. But really and truly, I'm most interested in GJ right now. So I'm gonna look at GJ and see if I can find something. Maybe today, who knows. But if you do want updates on my trades, I finally created a Telegram group. So here's the link right here for the group if you are interested in joining. It's completely free. I don't charge anything. I just want a better idea to basically share my trades and the progress of them and my ideas. Sometimes it's kind of hard to do everything through YouTube. So I thought making a community would make things easier. So if you want to join the community and just, you know, talk to people and trade with people, well, there's my Telegram link right here. It's in my description. So definitely, you know, join, check it out. I'm sorry I kind of rushed through it. I'm just really not feeling the best today. So, but yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all are profitable in the market. If y'all have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Until next time, y'all. Bye.